Good morning. The line from the benediction today is to love and serve God. We've talked about this in the past. Today, let's dive a little bit deeper into what that means, because it's confusing to love and serve God. We get instructions for how to do this in the Bible, in the book of Micah, chapter 6, verse 8. The verse says, "What does God require of us? To do justice, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with God." In some translations of the Bible, that line, to love mercy, is translated to love kindness. So let's think about loving and serving God as showing acts of kindness to other people and to ourselves. If we were in Kaleidoscope Corner this week, I would ask you to share acts of kindness and stories about acts of kindness that you've done to other people or that you've experienced from other people. But since we aren't in Kaleidoscope Corner today together, what I did was I found a place online that shares acts of kindness. If you go to randomactsofkindness.org, you can find all sorts of things about kind things that people have done. There's suggestions for kind things that you could do. You can watch videos, you can see pictures, and one part is a part where kids are able to write in short stories of different acts of kindness they've either done or received. So I'd like to share two of them with you right now. The first one is called Help in the Woods. It doesn't say how old this person is, so maybe you can just imagine how old they are. He says, "Once me and a couple of friends were out in the woods. We were in some pretty hard to walk through areas, and I was lagging behind. Eventually, my shoe got caught on a branch, and I ended up twisting my ankle and stabbing my foot. By the time I got my shoe back on, my friends had circled back to me. One of my friends said I could hold on to his shoulders. And even though he definitely wasn't under a circumstance to walk back either, he had also hurt himself, and I gripped really tight at some points. And he was complaining at times. Not once did he tell me to stop. It's small, but things like that are what really matter in relationships, and it feels really good to know that he was there for me." The other story I want to share is called The Kindness of My Dad. And again, I don't know how old this person is, so you can just imagine, but they're in school, so maybe they would either be in elementary school or maybe middle school, or I guess they could be in high school too. "There was a time in my life where I was in a lot of pain. I was hurting from how certain people had treated me in school. I was focused on a lot of people who had been unkind to me, so one day I just broke down crying in my home. I had cried tons of times before, but usually by myself. This time, though, my dad and mom could see me. My dad was never really an emotionally affectionate person, but he held me in his arms as I sobbed and repeated how he understands. That is one of the kindest things my dad has ever done for me." This week, I was having a hard week. Lots to do, a lot of overwhelming feelings with everything going on, and I had mentioned this to a few of my friends. After I came back from the doctor one day, there was a wrapped up loaf of pumpkin bread that my friend had left for me. It was still warm. And even though the recipe didn't call for chocolate chips, my friend put chocolate chips in it for me. That was an act of kindness that made me so happy, and it tasted delicious. So when we're thinking about loving and serving God, you know what? I think you're already doing it. Think of the kind things that you've done for people in your family or for your friends, and look around you and think of ways that you can continue to be kind, and know that when you're doing those things, you're loving and serving God. I have a piece of that pumpkin bread right here, so I'm going to go enjoy it right now. Have a wonderful day, and I can't wait to see you soon.